Skipper, what's the verdict?
Nice. Handles beautifully.
Economical, too. 4.5 gallons the hour, the factory says. I make it near 5.
How soon can you deliver one?
Well, if I can wangle another demonstration with the factory, you can have that one.
I gotta fit it into my budget. Chicken farming's not all they say it is, you know.
Oh, it'd be enough just to live close to all those eggs.
I'll let you know in a day or two.
Good. You won't stay the night?
No, due up in London, looking at the races on the way up.
Well, so long.
Bye-bye, Titch. Bye-bye, Rog.
Cheerio.
Say, Matt.
Hmm?
You're going to the races. Would you stick on a small bet for me?
Yes, of course.
Estrella in the 5th.
Estrella in the 5th?
Yeah.
How much?
Well, 50 quid.
Hmm? I thought it said a small bet.
Oh, well, it's, by the way, I'd rather Titch didn't know because he doesn't altogether approve.
50 quid to win?
Yeah. If it doesn't come in, I'll send you on a check. Will that be all right?
Yes, of course, all right. I'll phone it through to my bookie. Bye. Hello? May I speak? Oh, hello, Rogers. Dennant. About our friend Estrella. Let us down, I'm afraid.
She didn't win.
Thought never entered her head. 6th, I think. Yes, only 6th in the race.
Yeah, all right, well, I'll send you on the check.
Well, look, I'm staying at my club for a day or two. Will you send it on there?
Yeah, I say, Matt, would you mind if it waited a day or two? I'll send it on as soon as I can.
No, not at all.
Thanks, Skipper.
That's all right. Goodbye.
Do you mind giving me a light?
Not at all.
Thanks. Gold?
Brass.
Been racing. I went to the Derby this year.
Did you? So did I. What did you back?
Loser, as usual. What did you?
A loser, too. Not that it matters.
I think it's awful when you lose, don't you?
I don't know. Watching the horses is almost my money's worth. Prettiest things in the world, I think.
Prettier than women.
Well, once in a while you get a woman with good teeth and a strong neck.
You don't like women. I suppose you think they got more vice in them than horses. Well, who put the vice into them?
I know you all say men. Do you really believe it? I always thought that Eve was responsible for what happened in the garden that day.
The Garden of Eden. Must have been just like Hyde Park. I bet there were cops there, too.
You don't like cops.
Do you?
Never bothered to find out.
Well, you bother soon enough, you and me. You can walk in the park, can't you? Because you're a man. I can't. The cops won't let me. I'm guilty straight off to the cops. Because I'm a woman. They don't care what kind. They're only no one sort. Following me and questioning me as if I were something cheap. It's because I like to sit here sometimes and talk to a chap.
Well, they're only obeying orders, doing a job. I expect they're pretty human, like the rest of us.
You drop into Bow Street one Monday morning.
Well, I'm sure they have their share of bad ones. What profession hasn't?
Some say otherwise. That's the real oldest profession. The cops.
You're original, aren't you?
Original sin.
No, the worst thing.
Money, I suppose.
Only if you haven't got it.
If I had money of my own, do you know what I'd do?
Get rid of it.
That's just what I wouldn't. If ever I had to depend on you men again, I'd shut my lights off.
What, not like the woman under Aoife?
What'd she do?
Kept shouting, I don't want to be a free, independent economic agent. I want to be loved. What's wrong?
I don't think that's funny.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Give me the fellow that does. Doesn't hurt half so much.
I am sorry. Good night.
You might come and see me now and then.
Palmistry, eh?
That's right. I'll be the future in the palm of your hand.
I'm afraid my future's a bit dull.
It's what you make it. Do come. Anytime.
We'll see. Good night.
Good night. Who are you?
Plain clothes. Come along.
Why?
Quietly now.
I wasn't doing anything.
No, of course not. You just like to meet your friends in the park. Come along.
You let me
Quietly, I said, and you won't get hurt.
I wasn't doing anything, I'll tell you. He'll tell you so, too. Tell him, mister. Tell him. You talked to me behind a court, didn't you?
Of course I did.
I've been watching this woman, and I saw her accost you.
We had a talk, that's all. You can't arrest her for that.
I saw her accost you, and I saw her give you a card. Best thing you can do is to move on and keep clear of this.
Now, leave her alone. If anyone's to blame, I am.
Are you going to clear off?
No, I'm going to stay on.
If you interfere, I shall want you, too. You come along to the station. If you want to say anything, you can say it to the sergeant.
Now, take your hands off her.
I'm warning you, that's enough.
I said, take your hands off her.
You're under arrest.
And don't put them on me, either.
Don't fight. I've always got it on you.
Run for it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bash you so hard.
He hit his head. Stop moving.
You did.
Quick, before anyone comes. He blew his whistle.
I can't leave him like this.
Let's get out of here. Who'd know? Let's get out of here.
You clear off. I'll have to stay with him. Go on.
Well, what's this all about?
I'm afraid he's badly hurt.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Why, it's Penta. How did this happen?
He hit his head on this.
Did you hit him?
There was a sort of fight. As I was helping him up, he swung at me and lost his balance and...
I think you'd better come along to the station. What was the fight about?
Heaven knows. Original sin.
Lane Express, on you standing. Lane Express. Lane Express, on you standing.
All persons who have anything more to do before my lords, the King's Justices of Oyer and Terminer and General Jail Delivery for the jurisdiction of the Central Criminal Court, draw near and give your attendance. God save the King.
Despite the accused's exemplary conduct, despite his heroism in defense of his country during the war, we ask no special treatment for him. We admit that he erred in striking an officer engaged in the performance of his duty. We point out, however, that the blow was not the cause of Detective Penta's death. The man died as the result of a scuffle which occurred when the accused was endeavoring to aid him to his feet. If you find, as I invite you to do, that this death was due to events which had no necessary connection with Matthew Dennant's blow and were entirely beyond his control, then you must return a verdict of not guilty.
Like I said, if he hadn't have helped the tech wouldn't have hit his head.
If he hadn't hit him, Tech wouldn't have needed help.
If the tech hadn't interfered, he wouldn't have hit him.
Got it. Mine's a pint.
When the accused struck Detective Penter, he violated the law of the realm. That blow set in motion a train of events which resulted in Detective Penter's death. Let us strip away all legal subtleties. We have left to consider only a felonious blow resulting in death. It is for this reason that the Crown asks for a verdict of guilty on the charge of manslaughter.
The weather will continue fine over most of southern England tomorrow, with possible scattered showers in the evening. The summing up was completed in the Hyde Park case this afternoon. After an hour's retirement, the jury returned a verdict of guilty against Matthew Dennett. Sentence has not yet been pronounced.
Prisoner at the bar, you stand convicted of felony. Have you anything to say why the court should not give you judgment according to law?
Yes, I have. I did not intend to kill Detective Penter, nor did I kill him. The verdict reached by the jury is unjust. It's unjust because you cannot try bad luck. I've admitted the only offense of which I was guilty, to hit back at a man who struck at me. I haven't tried to evade responsibility for anything. I'm standing here in this dock because I refused to abandon an injured man. I could have walked away at any time and none the wiser, but I stayed where I was and told the truth because I believed I'd be treated justly. Because I believed in justice. I've been found guilty. I cannot submit to that verdict. I shall never submit to it.
Matthew Dennett, you have been given fair trial and found guilty of manslaughter. In my opinion, the jury could have brought in no other verdict. You had no right whatsoever to assault a police officer. That there were mitigating circumstances cannot alter this fact, nor the fact that your assault, however indirectly, resulted in a man's death. But because of your previous good character, I shall impose on you one of the most lenient sentences which it lies in my discretion to award. You will go to penal servitude for 3 years.
Now then.
Blasted fog. Will come over us like a ready blanket in a minute. Working closer, men. Close in there. That's better.
Your lordship's having a wee case of the fog jitters. Getting a bit thick for him.
What's the difference? They don't have to see us, they can smell us.
We'll be rounded up in a minute, you'll see. I've heard of bleeding sheep. Makes them nervous, fog. Animals get ideas, like running away.
Like escape.
Running away don't mean escape. Not from here, it don't. Running away's easy. Nobody's ever escaped. You run away, they bring you back. There ain't a dog's chance for the other. You want food, you want clothes, you want money and a car.
Where's Henry from here?
What you getting at?
You know the country.
Don't think of it, chum.
Here's a stick. Draw it for me.
Here's where we are. Here's the prison road. Runs into the main road here. There's a bridge in a stream about 1.5 miles. Another mile to a crossroads. Inly is this way, more sides there. Bogs here and here. The river doubles round like this.
Hurry up with that roll, you two.
Yes, sir. Hurrying right along, sir. Drop it, Pat. You won't have a chance. There's the bogs. You can't tell them from the hard ground. There's no warning. You get caught in them and gone before you know.
I'm caught here, too.
There's the people. They're all against you, every last one. They'll hunt you with dogs and turn you in. Funny, isn't it?
If I can get to Henley, I'll be all right.
What's in Henley?
Wouldn't you rather not know when they ask you?
If they spot you and yell, don't run for it. They'll shoot.
Let them. If it ends with a bullet, that's that.
Oh, I wish I had your nerve.
They've made their rules and I'll play their game. Thanks, Brownie.
Good luck, Matt. I wish I had the pluck to go with you, but I haven't. That's a fact.
Turn your head the other way and keep it there. You can have my loaf and tea tonight. My compliments to the chef.
All right, that's all. We are going in. Keep close together. Come on, this way.
Hello, where's your mate?
Him, sir? Didn't you pass him, sir? He was here a minute ago. He said something about getting in fast. Fog made him nervous, he said.
You know where he's gone. You better tell me.
It's coming back to me now, sir. He said something most peculiar, he did. Brownie, he said, how would you like a nice fat wild goose for your supper? A wild goose, I says.
All right, that's enough. Keep up with the others.
Right, sir.
Take him in.
Yes, sir.
All right, men.
Hello, what's this? Good morning, Inspector.
Good morning, Sir James. Good morning, Miss Winton.
One of your birds flown in the coop?
Yes, got away in the fog yesterday. No cause for alarm, Miss Winton.
When you've grown up here, Inspector, escapes become part of the background, like the moor ponies.
Wonder to me they still tried. Can't say I've ever known one get away and stay away.
It'll always be worth a try to some, and I can't say that I blame them too much. Who was it said that a prison is a monastery of men who have not chosen to be monks?
I've never understood what good it does to block the roads. Surely he'll keep to the moors.
He hasn't a chance without a car, Miss Winton. And you know, people will go off without locking their ignition. That sort of man afoot in the moors, well, I should hate to think of the bugs getting him before we do, wouldn't you?
I hope he has the good sense to stay clear of them.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I hope you didn't wait breakfast.
Oh, I had mine ages ago. You must be famished. I gather you and your horse took one of the jumps at different times.
I got over a little before he did. He shied at something behind the hedge.
Those bridges will take weeks at the cleaners.
And another bill.
Oh, well. Did you have a good run?
Splendid. There was a tang in the air, and you could almost smell the autumn on the moors. We had a fine kill.
That sounds so cold-blooded.
It's only a hunting term.
It does seem unnecessarily cruel, hounding a poor beast to its death.
Foxes hunt and expect to be hunted. Phyllis, will you bring some breakfast to my room, please? I'm going to have my bath.
Yes, Miss Dora.
Thank you.
Telegram for you.
Oh. It's from Charles. He won't be down this weekend.
Oh, what a pity. Does he say why?
He doesn't mention her name, if that's what you mean.
Dora, really?
Please don't scream.
What are you doing in my room?
Your breakfast, I'm afraid.
Well, you've got to get out.
When I've finished.
You're taking quite a chance for a few pieces of toast.
Quite an appetite. There's more air, you know. Do you realize that the bread ration in prison's larger than yours? I suppose I should offer you some of this.
That's very generous of you. Quite the gentleman, aren't you?
You misunderstand me. I'm a convict, so decreed by a jury of my peers.
Why did you escape? You can't get away. Only fools try. And you're obviously not a fool.
Thanks.
You must have known how it'll be.
I knew.
They'll catch you. They always do.
Not me. Not alive.
Come for the train, miss.
All right.
My, you did clean it off.
There's nothing like the more air for an appetite.
Yes, miss. Inspector Harris is out in front with Miss Winton. He thinks the convict might be close by. Frightening, isn't it?
Probably just as frightening to him as it is to us.
Not this one, miss. He's a murderer. 5 years ago we had one loose, and he was half balmy.
I'm sure the gossip can wait, Phyllis, and my bath can't. Do you mind?
Very well, miss. Only telling you what I thought you should know I was.
Thanks.
Dora. My sister. Yes, Grace?
The inspector says they found tracks of the escaped convict on the moor near here.
Phyllis told me.
You better come in with the rest of us.
Well, I can't very well like this.
Then please hurry and dress. Mr. Harris says the man's dangerous.
Shall we look under the bed together, dear?
I looked as I came in. He's not there.
You heard what they said.
Yeah, seems time to go.
Is it true that you're a murderer?
No, it's true I hit a man and he died. Didn't kill him. I didn't even know the poor devil.
You're Matt Dennett, the Hyde Park case.
That's right.
Wait here.
Are there any other rooms we haven't seen?
Just the servants' quarters and my sister's room.
Put these on. Can you fish?
Yes.
Then you'd better. The stream is just beyond the woods. You can circle around the garden.
Your husband?
My fiancé. There's an old hut about half a mile upstream. It's never used. You'll be safe there if you want to rest.
Thanks.
If you see anyone looking, drink. It creates confidence.
What will your fiancé think?
What he doesn't know can't hurt him.
Why are you doing this?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Original sin?
What made you think of that?
Seems to be quite a lot of it around.
The cunning.
Thanks. I'm sorry to eat and run like this.
Hello, Inspector. How nice of you to bring your hunt through our house.
The hunt goes where the fox goes. Am I right?
They do not, as a rule, run about in my bedroom.
This is a different kind of fox.
You know, sir, it's my opinion he'd stick to the open. That's psychology.
Wasn't it psychology that killed the cat?
Curiosity, Inspector.
You're right, it was curiosity. I've often wondered what that cat was looking for. Would you know, Miss Dora?
The only cats I know about, Inspector, are a different kind. But that is mud on my floor, isn't it?
Offhand, I would say yes.
Phyllis, while I remember, I've got the bathroom looking like a riverbank.
Well, there's no one here, that's certain. Now, I hope we haven't disturbed you too much.
Oh, no.
Not at all.
Goodbye.
He was here, wasn't he? How could you do such a thing?
I don't know. Do you suppose it was original sin?
Allow me, madam. May I use your telephone, please?
I always hate to think of one of those dreadful men at large. You can't sleep in your bed.
No, Dolly, I wouldn't get too excited. Think of the choice he's got.
That was a bad case. They were up to no good, those two. They say those London parks are in a proper state.
Yeah, the Sunday school, that's certain.
Handle exchange, please.
I'd have hung him, the murderer.
323.
Oh, come now, Dolly, he was no murderer. Having his bit of fun he was, and along came trouble. Not his fault.
I'd have punished her, too. I'd keep 'em shut up, the harpies, and then they wouldn't tempt young men.
Can't say I've been tempted for some time. I'm going over to the local for some conversation.
What do you get here?
Handle 323. May I speak to Titch, please?
Hold on.
Yes?
It's you, Matt. Where are you?
A village called Moorside, about 10 miles from you. This is police business, you understand? I can't speak openly on the telephone. We've unearthed a plot to steal one of your aircraft. Desperate man trying to make him get away to France.
Are you sure it's wise, old man? I mean, are you sure it's the fellow's intention?
Yes, it is his only chance. We believe he hopes to find an aircraft, unattended on your aerodrome, warmed up, ready to go. In an hour or two, I should think. We're pressing him pretty closely.
Right. We'll cooperate.
Thanks.
That'll be sixpence, sir.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's straw now. Come out without my money.
Henley Exchange is sixpence, sir.
This is police business, you know. Charge it to the Devon Constabulary.
You don't look like a policeman to me.
Thank you, that's a compliment.
Constable Bean's outside. We can easily find out.
Oh, is he? That's lucky. I can catch him for the sixpence. You can hardly refuse a superior officer, can he?
Constable, stop that man.
Hey, what's all this?
She says you owe her sixpence.
I want my sixpence.
No, Mrs. Pinkham. Hold on there just a minute.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
I wonder if you've got a car for hire.
I have, Governor, but it's out. Wouldn't be interested in buying, would you?
Might be.
A nice little Austin for sale. Cheaper in the long run, you know. Have a car of your own for running around Devon.
Depends on what it's like.
Come and have a look at it yourself. Here you are, Governor. Top old condition. Only reason for selling is the owners had to go abroad. Another 10,000 mile in them tires. 300 quid.
Take it out. Let me try it.
Drive it yourself. Hold on, I'll get some cigarettes. Bit noisy, of course, but what can you expect from a 35 model? Driven all the time by an old couple of Torquay. Know myself. Mind a bump at the curb. Easy, Governor. Police are thick today, looking for that escaped murderer.
What makes you so sure he's a murderer?
What else? I followed this case, I can tell you. Never mind what his lawyer said. He killed that tech, and what's more, he meant to kill him. I got no sympathy for criminals.
Very few of you honest men have.
If they'd hung him in the first place, they wouldn't have had this trouble now. What's your opinion, Governor?
My opinion is there are a great many people in prison who should be out and a great many out that should be in.
I dare say.
For instance, you say this is a 1935 Austin. I say it's 31 at the latest. You rigged the indicator to say 7,000 miles, whereas 70,000 is nearer to the truth.
Now, look here.
And as for the old couple in Torquay, I say you pictured up a junkie for 20 pounds, slapped some cheap paint on it, and intend to steal 300 pounds from some poor devil who's desperate for a car to do his business in.
I ain't done a thing that ain't legal.
Perfectly legal, of course. Honest business. You're an honest citizen, my friend, the kind they sit on juries to judge the criminal class.
If you don't want his car, you needn't have it. There's plenty who'll buy it, so let's turn back.
I think this is far enough. Get out.
Why? What are you getting at?
You heard me. Get out.
Well, just who do you think you are?
You said you followed my case. Take a good look. Who do you think I am?
Oh, you're him.
I'm him, all right. A killer with a price in his head, not a cheap motor car racketeer. Now, beat it.
What's the matter?
That man's having trouble.
Well, we can't stop for everyone on the road who... It's the convict, isn't it?
You've got a detective's intuition, Grace. Is it serious?
Some dirt in the petrol lead, and I haven't much time.
Where are you going? This is my sister Grace, Mr. Dennant. Where are you going?
That way.
You can't. We've just come from there. The police have a roadblock about a mile ahead.
Is there another road?
Yes, that goes around the moor, but it's quite a bit longer, and it means going back through the village.
Might make a sort of blind dash for it. The place will be buzzing like a beehive by now. I'd rather help myself to this car, you see.
You could take ours. That would throw them off.
He'll do nothing of the sort. You've no right to involve my sister in your activities.
I've no intention of involving either your sister or your car.
There must be some way we can help.
You realize, of course, that you can go to prison yourself for aiding an escaped convict.
They're looking for a lone man. If I ride through the village with you, there's a chance.
Dora, I won't have it.
Won't you, Grace? Will this hood come down?
It'll either come down or off.
Inspector Harris, Constable Bean from Moorside reporting. Bit of news for you, sir. I'm hot on the trail of the convict. That's right, sir. He stole a car in the village, but I was on the alert and I... Hold on, sir. Inspector, sorry for interrupting, sir. I thought it was the same car, but it was only some Americans.
Where are you, Constable? Right there. I'll be over presently.
Oughtn't you to be getting out soon?
I'll ride with you as far as the level crossing. It's only a short walk home from there.
Hope this won't make trouble between you and your sister.
Trouble was there before you came along. You see, Grace is a very righteous woman. There's only one way I can make living with her tolerable, and that's by doing outrageous things every now and then.
Like helping convicts.
Don't call yourself that.
What's your name? I only know the Dora part.
Dora Winton. Soon it'll be Bostic.
Ah, yes, the one who won't be hurt by what he doesn't know. Are you very happy?
Why should I be?
People in love?
I'm not in love.
Oh.
Have you ever been poor?
I've had a few pounds a year. Why?
Would it make much difference to you?
Probably. Possibly. I don't know.
I'd hate it. You see, I like having my share of the loaves and fishes. But now there isn't any more money left, and it means, well, I look upon my marriage as an investment.
You've made all that perfectly clear to your fiancé, of course.
Of course not. I'd lose my investment. You see, Charles is very much like Grace. They both have very high standards for me.
Oh, no.
Yes, sir, I recognize the man immediately.
Very astute of you, Constable.
So now all you got to do, sir, is to find him and arrest him.
Splendid. And where do you suggest we start looking?
Well, to tell you the truth, sir, I hadn't given the matter any mature thought, as you might say. Trouble with fellas like this is they hop around like a ruddy flea.
Yes, they're usually the nervous type. They won't sit still. Did you take the number of the car?
Oh, yes, sir. I got that here, sir.
Have this put over the air, please. Of course, having landed your suspect, we may find that he's just an ordinary car thief after all.
Oh, no, sir. He's the convict right enough.
Oh, and what makes you so sure of that?
Well, sir, I'll take you over my line of reasoning, as you might say. In the first place, convicts don't have no money.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why they become convicts in the first place.
And this here fellow, he didn't have no money likewise.
Oh, and where did you learn that?
When he couldn't pay for his telephone call.
Tell it. You blithering fool. Did he use a telephone?
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, where did he use a phone?
Over there, sir.
Get that, will you, Rog? Yeah, right. Contact. Contact. I don't say so. I don't know anything about it.
I advise you not to withhold information from the police.
Is there a reward, sir?
£200?
You'd better come out here straight away. He's planning to get away in one of our aircraft.
And your name?
I'd rather not say. You see, we've always been friendly.
But if you wish to be paid for this friendly gesture of yours...
Rogers. Sir?
Sometimes, Mrs. Pinkham, I wish I'd taken up poetry. Or dentistry.
It won't be long.
There's no other road, is there?
I'm afraid not.
Out in the open like this.
This road isn't used much.
How long would it take to walk?
Too long.
I wish I had a cigarette.
There are some in my bag if you like.
Oh, thanks.
Keep them.
Thanks.
After you fly to France, what will you do then?
I got friends there. They were underground during the war. Helped me out twice. Maybe they can help me in now.
But they're not underground anymore. What if they can't help you or won't?
I shall have to find other friends.
What other friends?
I'm hardly in a position to choose.
But you can't spend the rest of your life like this, hunted like a fox. How will you live?
How does a fox live?
How long was your sentence?
3 years?
And you said it wasn't because of the prison you escaped.
That's right.
Was it because 3 years is such a long time?
3 years, 30, or 3 days. It wouldn't make much difference.
But for someone like you, you're not a criminal. When your sentence is over, you could start again. You could live as if it had never happened.
As an ex-convict? Where? In what world? This one? Do you think I was justly convicted?
No.
Why not?
Because you told me so and I believe you.
Ah, but then you're not righteous. And your standards aren't high enough for Grace and your fiancé. This is their world, not ours. The righteous have inherited this earth.
But we've got to live on it. There isn't any other available at the moment.
And play their rules?
That's right.
Do you?
Most of the time.
Why?
Because it's easier.
I'll take the hard way, thank you.
You won't win.
Depends what you want to win, doesn't it? I'll never be again what I was, an ordinary honest man. Overnight I became something called a criminal. But I can get back my freedom. I can at least live as a free criminal, if not as a free man.
Are you sure? Suppose you do get away, will you really be free? Won't you be merely exchanging one kind of prison for another?
Aren't you merely exchanging one kind of poverty for another, marrying a man you don't love? I won't try to thank you.
Switches off.
Switches off.
Contact.
Contact.
If they catch me, I'll tell them I stole it.
I'm not worried about us.
Thanks, Stitch.
Go on, lad, if you're going. Go on, go on.
It's no good. He can't take off downwind.
Which way to the prison?
About 2 miles.
Yeah. Any news about the convict?
10 likely he'd be heading in this direction. Straight ahead, you can't miss it.
Yeah, I couldn't miss the old city of London in this ruddy fog. So long, mate.
You're that? Probably some animal caught in the bog.
Well, what do you want?
I'm thinking you're a convict.
Well, now, you see, I'm not. Supposing you get on about your business.
George, go and find Maester in 5 Acre Field. He'll know what to do.
Who's Maester?
Farmer Browning. 'Tis his grazing year. You hurt?
Yes, I was in a motor smash last night. Be a good fellow, will you, and go and get the doctor? I don't think I should move.
I'm thinking you'll move. The moment I turn my back on you.
You still think I'm the convict?
Can't say. Them town folk, I reckon.
Now, look here. I've had about enough of this.
Now then. That'll do, Jim. You there, on my land. Kindly give me your name and account for yourself.
Mr. Browning?
That's my name.
Mine's Matthews. I'm staying at the inn at Moorside. Smashed my car up in the fog last night. I was delirious, I suppose, and wandered here. This man of yours thinks he's treed an escaped convict.
Well, sir, when there's these escapes, we have to be careful. You'll see what the police have to say. Here, George, take your bicycle and go and fetch the constables. You'll find them up at the crossroads.
Really, Mr. Browning?
I can't take chances, sir. You fit the description on the wireless.
You know I can make trouble for you over this. Threatening with firearms is a felony.
Not on me own land.
I tell you, I had an accident on the way back to the inn.
Moorside, you said?
That's correct.
Perhaps you'll tell me the name of the innkeeper there.
Has he got a name? I hadn't noticed.
No, nor the name of the inn neither, maybe.
The Red Lion. Well, it ought to be.
You'd be wise to own up.
All right, Mr. Browning. I admit it. I'm Dennant.
I thought you'd come to it.
Will you give me a chance?
You know I can't do that.
No, I suppose you can't. You got a cigarette?
I don't smoke them things. Here, Jim, got a fag for him?
Thanks. I'll see that you get the reward for my capture.
Thank you kindly, sir.
Mr. Browning, haven't you got an ounce of original sin in you?
I'm not a sinful man.
You're a very fortunate fellow. I got so many sins on my conscience that perhaps one more won't be held against me.
Good morning. May I see Miss Winton, please?
They're at breakfast, sir.
It's important, I'm afraid.
Morning, Inspector.
Oh. Good morning, Miss Winton.
We saw your car drive up. Won't you come in?
Thank you. I'm sorry to disturb you. Good morning.
Good morning, Inspector.
Will you have a cup of tea?
No, thank you. I had mine early.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you, I will. I have some objects here which I thought you might be able to identify. These are buttons from a Burberry. Of course, one Burberry is like another, so probably they won't be very much use to us. But this one, you'll notice, is broken and has been for some time. It might serve as an identification. These are trout hooks. The flies have been burned off, as you can see.
Burned?
Yes. This flask is badly damaged, but you can still make out the initials. Excuse me. A C and an F and what might be a B. Have you ever seen this before?
Why, yes, it belongs to my sister's fiancé. Where did you find it, Inspector?
In the burned wreckage of the aircraft in which Dennett was trying to escape. Perhaps you can explain how these things came to be in his possession.
I have no explanation.
Then perhaps Miss Dora has one.
What difference does it make? He's dead.
If he were dead, it would make none.
Isn't he?
I'm afraid I've been guilty of a rather cruel deception, but I had to be sure about you. Except for these things, there were no other traces in the wreckage.
What are you going to do, Inspector?
It's very hard to know what to do.
I'm as guilty as she is. I saw the man, spoke with him.
The police are not interested in you, Miss Winton. We're primarily interested in returning a convicted criminal to justice.
His conviction wasn't justice, and you know it.
My opinion is of no importance. I'm here for one purpose. To ask you if you've seen the man since you rode through Moorside with him yesterday afternoon.
No.
Thank you.
Am I under arrest?
You haven't been officially charged, but I must ask you to remain in the house until you hear from me.
Come in.
Beg pardon.
Excuse me. All right, I'll come right along. Our friend is so very much alive that less than an hour ago he knocked out a farmer who was trying to detain him.
Inspector. What would you have done in my place?
My duty, I hope.
If you weren't a police officer.
That I am a police officer. Good day.
Thank you, Grace. There was no need to implicate yourself.
I think there was.
Why?
When this comes out, it'll help appearances if we're both implicated, instead of you alone.
And it's only appearances that worry.
You're my sister. I'm involved in your indiscretions whether I like them or not. We're both disgraced whatever happens.
I suppose we are, if it means anything.
It means your engagement, for one thing.
We needn't consider that. I wrote to Charles last night asking him to release me.
Why?
Because I'm tired of being poor.
bad. I must keep going.
Rest a while.
There's no time.
Please, till I fix a sling for your arm. Please.
How did you know I'd be here?
I didn't. It was the only place I could think of to look.
I didn't know where else to go. The whole countryside's joined in the chase now.
I know. Is that better?
Much. Thanks again. And goodbye again.
Matt, don't go.
I've got to.
You haven't a chance. You'll either be killed or kill yourself.
What else can I do?
Give yourself up.
That's no answer.
3 years. What are 3 years out of a lifetime?
Depends on whose lifetime.
Ours, then. Our lifetime. Yours and mine.
What about your share of the loaves and fishes?
I'm not going to marry Charles. I've written. Matt, I want to wait and marry you if you'll have me.
There's nothing as poor as an ex-convict's wife. You'll hate it, and hate me.
It's the hard way, isn't it? I'll take it, thank you.
Because you pity me now.
Because I love you now.
I haven't any choice.
You don't want to get them spread out a bit, Joe.
Right.
Good morning.
Morning, Miss Winton.
Will you give Inspector Harris a message for me?
Yes, miss?
Please ask him to meet me at the old hut as soon as he can. I think it'll be worth his while.
Yes, miss.
Perhaps the police need some help.
We hadn't asked for any.
We've a right to turn out if our peace is threatened.
Yes, I suppose you have. I'm afraid I don't approve of dogs and guns in the hands of unauthorized persons. We're hunting a man, not a wild animal.
No time to be squeamish, Inspector. He's a desperate, foxy chap. And I owe him a score myself.
Yes, so I heard. You seen the trace of him?
We're on his scent up to the stream yonder. He baffled the dogs there, but 'tis certain he's not far off.
sanctuary, sir.
You oughtn't to have come in here.
Where then? I thought the church...
That was long ago, when the church made its own laws.
Don't give me up, Padre. This will be arrested.
Who am I to give you up? I can't help you to escape. But if you want rest, take it.
The hospitality of God. I shan't forget it, Padre.
Who's after you?
The police, of course, and a pack of villagers.
My villagers?
I'm sorry. I understand. I'll go.
No, no. Rest while you can. You've asked for sanctuary, and I don't know that I have the right to turn you out of here. I don't know. What made you escape? Didn't you have a fair trial? You feel quiet in your own mind, that's the only thing. You're sure you're doing what you think is right?
I'm doing the only thing possible.
I wish I could be assured of my own course.
Well, aren't you? Doesn't the church give one that? Certainty of mind?
The church was endowed by God. It is managed by men. And where there are men, there are doubts and confusion. You should understand, Mr. Dennett. You led a squadron during the war. And I'm expected to lead
your parishioners.
When you're gone, should I be entitled to have kept silent about you without telling them I've been silent? If I tell them, can I keep what little influence I now possess? Is it right for a parson to go on where he has no influence?
I don't want to be on your conscience.
Oh, you're not to blame. What more natural place to take refuge than a church? Christianity, after all, is a religion for those in need.
If only more Christians knew about it.
It seems to me what you demand is perfect justice. There's no such thing, except with God. Our human laws are as fallible as the men who make them.
Are you about to tell me to give myself up?
Yes.
I'm sorry. There's nothing you could say which would make me even consider it.
I'm sorry, too. Stay where you are till the end of the service. There'll only be a few people, I'm afraid.
I wonder what Christ would have said.
That, Mr. Dennett, is the most difficult question you could ask. No one ever knows. People may presume to answer this or that, but no one ever knows. It makes it hard for those of us who try to follow him.
He said, render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's.
He also said, what man is there of you whom if his son ask bread, will he give him a stone?
Beg pardon, sir. There's police and people outside. Them looking for the man.
Oh.
I think they want to look for him here.
I'll see them, Thomas, when they come. Go and get ready for the service.
Yes, sir.
I'd better see you. What can I do for you, Inspector?
I'm sorry to trouble you, sir, but it was reported that the escaped convict was seen crossing the churchyard a few minutes ago.
Was he?
He must be somewhere about, Parson. And we got men all around the place.
Strictly speaking, I could order a search.
Well, I don't know whether you have the right to search a holy place, but come in if you wish and look for yourself. Perhaps some of you might like to stay for the service.
I don't think it'll be necessary for me to search. I'll accept your word he isn't in the church.
My word, sir.
Yes, that's all I require.
I'm sorry, sir. I was hidden in there.
I thought so.
Be quiet in this place and go out. You shame God.
right, Inspector.
That won't be necessary, Dan.
Thank you.
I haven't done anything to help you.
Would you turn me in?
I don't know. Why didn't you wait and see?
I'm afraid it never occurred to me. I just had to come out.
Just as you had to help the girl in the park.
What's the answer, Padre?
I'm only a country parson. You'd take a bishop at least to tell you. But you did what your decent self wanted you to do. Perhaps that's something none of us can escape.
Perhaps that's it.
God keep you.
I hope you put it in your report that Miss Winton induced me to give myself up.
Yes, I've already made a note of it.
Goodbye.
Cigarette?
Oh, blast this thing. You going to try it again?
No. It could only lead to my giving myself up again.
Then you've discovered you're human like the rest of us, eh?
Seems to be the trouble with all of us, doesn't it? Being human. I'd forgotten that.